Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexie, and if you're new here, I am a stay-at-home mom of a 4-year-old little boy and 3 very bossy German Shepherds. I make videos because I enjoy it. I do book/reading videos, cleaning videos, mommy videos, a whole bunch of different content. So if you like random content and just a mix of it, then please follow along. Okay, so today's video is going to be updating, discussing some books from my February to be read TBR list. So far I have finished 3 books. I think 3 books. I started really my TBR in the beginning or middle of February, so I think 3 books in about less than 2 weeks, I think was pretty good for me. Okay, so we're just gonna jump in and talk about them. So the first one that I finished this month was One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. I loved this book. I was hooked. This was fantastic. Probably gonna have, I'll try not to do too many spoilers, but One of Us is Lying follows technically 5 students. So 5 students go into a detention. One of them ends up dead. And it's kind of a Breakfast Club mix with Pretty Little Liars. It was which one of the 4 did it. One of them had to do it because who else would have killed him? And I was on like the edge of my seat to a certain extent because through the whole time I'm like, okay, one of the kids has to do it. One of the kids had to have done it, and one of the kids had to have killed him. And I'm like, okay, one of them did it. But then I'm like, who did it? Because none of them seem like they would have done it. They all seem like good kids that have just typical teenage problems or have the teenage secrets. So I'm like, you know, I don't know if any of them really did it. So throughout the whole book I'm sitting there, they didn't do it, they did it, they did it. Oh, okay. And I'm going back and forth the whole book about who did it. But I never guessed who did it until right before, like literally minutes before I read who actually killed him is when I figured it out. So it took me ages, and I hate that it took me ages. Well, I guess I don't hate it. It's good because it kept me on my seat and kept me going, and I was wanting to know who did it. So it was good for that aspect, but I hate that it took me so long to figure it out. But it was such a great storyline. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I didn't see it coming. There were some decent twists in this book that got me. Watching the characters in this book evolve, you start off with typical teenagers that are hiding problems and all this kind of stuff, hiding secrets. But watching them grow throughout this book could actually turn into responsible young adults ready to take on the world was a nice twist to this as well. I liked to see you get the jock, you get the nerd, you get the bad boy, and then you throw in some of their siblings and just a whole bunch of different things. So I liked the different characters. I liked how the characters were built and they grew. So I liked watching that through this book. I think that each character added something different to this book, and I loved, honestly, all of them. Nate, you know, I was just like, oh, he's a typical bad boy, but you still fall for him because he's a bad boy. And then you get, what's his name? Cooper the athlete. But you know what? Cooper's not the typical athlete, even from the beginning of the book. He's a popular guy, all the girls want him, but he's a genuine sweetheart. So I like that about him. He's just misunderstood. So I love to watch him grow. You get, Lord, I'm terrible with names. Bronwyn the brain. She's a typical brain, but she changes. It's nice to see that. But yeah, overall the character growth was great. I don't know how much I want to give away. So I guess if you have not read this yet, stop now because I need to talk about it, but I don't want to give spoilers away. So skip a portion of this book, of this video, until I get to the next book, so you don't get any spoilers. So, okay, going into spoilers now. It took me a while to figure out that Simon had killed himself, had committed suicide. It did take me a long time to figure it out, but once I did, it made sense. However, I did not see the Jake aspect coming in. I did suspect Janae, is that how you say her name? I did suspect Janae for being involved somehow. If you hear my son, I'm sorry, he's playing. But I did suspect Janae for doing something, but I wasn't sure what she did. So, but she was kind of the person that led me to start questioning Simon as a actual suspect. So, yeah, that threw me for a loop. I was like, okay, well, maybe Simon is conniving enough to kill himself and then try to take everybody down with him. So yes, Simon killing himself wasn't necessarily a shock, but then at the same time it was. I think it was the Jake thing that shocked me. The fact that he was so twisted and manipulative for a teenage boy. It's like he knew that his girlfriend cheated on him and he was then gonna frame her for murder? Like, what the heck? Like, okay, I know cheating is a pretty bad thing, but murder? Like, whew. That was just insane to me. I thought that was a little over exaggerated. Like, you don't need to go to that extent. That's a little overdone. But that's just me. But otherwise, this book was fantastic. I loved it. I'm gonna pick up the second one. I was kind of, and I get the second one. I was like, oh, well, it's not the same characters. But at the same time, how can they be the same characters? The book was wrapped up in a nice, pretty little bow. But the second one follows Bronwyn's sister. I think it's Maeve, something like that. So I'll probably pick it up because I love this book. So I'll probably pick up the second one and try it. But yeah, I would recommend this. If you like a whodunit, teenage years, teenage drama, teenage angst, go pick this up. I think this is a really good one. Okay. Second book of the month. You're probably tired of hearing me talk about this series. You're just probably sick of it, but sorry. I read London Prep, The Key, book number 4. So I've talked about London Prep probably multiple times on this channel, and I love it. Gillian Dodd is such a great author. I just love it. This book is full of teenage angst, teenage drama. You get, it's based in London, so you get the London boys, you get the accents, you get everything London. But like Gossip Girl kind of feels to it. So this one, I'll kind of give a synopsis of the series and then I'm going to go into spoilers because I cannot talk about this book without going into spoilers. So if you have not read the series, this series follows Mallory, who is an American student on an exchange program in London. She ends up moving in with the Williams family, which is Noah, Helen, and I think it's Jean is the dad. Noah is the son of their family, same age as her, same class. He has a friend group of Harry and Mohammed, and so what happens is there's a love triangle between Mal, Noah, and Harry, and it just follows the love triangle and the 3-week span of her exchange program. So the first 3 books are the 3 weeks that during her exchange program, and then this picks up right as her exchange program is ending. So The Key. I was excited. I think I've been waiting for a decent amount of time, a couple months, for this book. I was really, really excited. But honestly, I guess I just didn't get what I wanted from this book. Not saying it was a bad book. I still rated it 4 stars. It was still a great book for the London Prep series. But I guess it wasn't my absolute favorite, and maybe that's because there wasn't as much Harry and Noah in it. There wasn't those cute kind of steamy bathroom scenes, and there wasn't any of the typical Noah and Harry in it. And I guess I missed the boys. I'm sorry, my phone keeps going off. I I missed the boys in this book. This book is mainly based on Mallory and learning more about Mallory and her thought process and all that stuff. So the third book, if you haven't read it, stop. Let's move on because you're going to turn it off, go farther in the video. You're not going to want to hear it if you haven't read the third one. So the third book ends with Harry breaking up with Mallory at school because Noah told Harry that he loved Mallory, but he never told Mallory, so Mallory walks into the lunchroom screaming at Noah and then kisses him in front of everybody. That's how the book ends. And you're like, I've been Team Noah since the very, very beginning. I love Noah. He's moody, yes. He's grumpy, yes. But he's just, I don't know, he's just like the perfect teenage boy character for this book. I've been Team Noah. Harry just seems like he's using Mallory as a crutch. She's just there for support. I don't think he even really loves her like he says he does. I don't think he loves her like a girlfriend. I think he loves her because of the fact that she's there to help. She's kind of a safety net. So I think that he kind of needs to let her go. And I was hoping we were going to see that in this book. I was hoping we were going to see Harry let her go. And we didn't. So I think my problem with this book is I got no answers. Like the third one, it's like, boom, cliffhanger. And then you're left dangling for months like, what do I do with my life? And then you get this fourth one and no answers. I don't know who she's with. Is she with Harry? Is she with Noah? I don't know. I don't know. Can you see my frustration coming through here? I don't know. I like to know answers. And I know that's the point of this book. You know, we have to have a more simple book going into the fifth one to make the series last. And, you know, I know that we needed that, but I don't like it. I don't like answers. I don't like not knowing the answers. Throughout the book, it's her trying to rebuild the bridges. Well, I haven't even told you. She doesn't go home to New York. She stays in London. Her parents are moving to London. Holy crap. Her parents are moving to London. So she's staying there in a hotel. So she's staying there, right? She's trying to build these bridges back up. And that's literally the whole thing. Harry forgives her and says, okay, let's just be friends. Noah is Noah, just an emotional roller coaster. He's not giving anything. He's just like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. I don't know. So the whole book goes through, okay, whatever. And literally this book only goes through like 3 or 4 days. So it's literally almost 400 pages based on 3 to 4 days in her life. And I know you can't make up a lot in 3 to 4 days after hurting so many people. But at the same time, I want answers. Who is she with? Noah or Harry? So the book isn't as big of a cliffhanger as the third one, but it did throw me for a loop because it ends on her birthday. Harry shows up and gives her a diamond necklace for her birthday and then asks her to be his date for his parents' party after saying that they should just be friends and that she should go out with Noah. And she accepts. Maybe that's my big problem. I don't know. I haven't figured out my big problem with this book because all my emotions are all over the place because I'm like, what? I'm Team Noah, so why would you accept a date from Harry? Like, why? That's just stupid. You're sitting here and you're finally acknowledging throughout this book that you have feelings for Noah. You want Noah. But then you would accept a date from Harry? What is going through your noggin, Mallory? This is the whole thought process. So then after she accepts the necklace and the date from Harry, Noah shows up and they have this like kind of steamy, like, the best way I saw it was in an interview, or not an interview, in a review of it. They said steam level, kids bop song. And I'm like, yeah, that kind of sounds, it's not very steamy. It's steam factor of like a 0.5 compared to the previous books. But they have this slight steamy moment. And then the book ends. Like, there's no kissing, there's no making up, there's no flirty, sexy Noah, there's nothing. Like, I feel like at the same time, so I guess my feelings with this book, I love it, but I also feel like a lot happened with Mallory and Mohammed. He was the true superstar of this book. You really get to see Mohammed more. He really helps Mallory through everything, and he's fantastic. You meet Mia, Noah's sister. She's a great addition to the story. But I feel like a lot happens with Mallory, but then at the same time, I feel like not a lot happens because we don't know what's going to happen with Noah or Harry. So I feel like a lot happened, but at the same time, not a lot happened at all. So I kind of have these mixed feelings. I'm still trying to process it. Overall, it was a good book. Maybe I don't like it because it's really making me think, and the next book is called like The Summer House or something, which is Harry's house. And I'm like, oh God, is it going to start over? Like, is she going to go to this as Harry's date and then they're going to get back together and all this stuff? And I'm going to still sit here have to yell at Mallory through the book and say, why aren't you choosing Noah? Why are you choosing Harry? I don't know. I guess it's just so many unknowns that it's just like stressing me out. Whew, I've never gotten so, well, I can't say I've never. I've gotten stressed over books before. But this book is just, you feel all the emotions. So this book was good. I guess it wasn't my favorite out of the series because I am missing the boys in this. I am missing Harry. I am missing Noah. I'm just missing the normal parts of London Prep. I know that this book had to happen. I know. But I guess I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know any answers. We'll see. We'll check back in after 5, which is in October. She's making us wait till October to find out what happens. Like, how am I supposed to wait until October to find out if she's going to end up with Harry or Noah? Or if she at all. Is Jillian going to make us wait till the 6th book? Like, if she makes me wait till the 6th book, I'm going to die. Oh, Lord. Books. When series gets you to feel like this and gets you to really think, I love it. Because I may seem crazy, I may seem stressed right now, but I love this because it really draws me in. It really gets me thinking. So I still gave this a 4. It's not like I hate the book. It's just not what I was expecting, but it was still fantastic. So yeah, go pick up the London Prep series and see what's making me so insane. Go see what's making me turn into this crazy person that just is questioning life. Yeah. Go check it out. And go check out Jillian's other series. All fantastic. Love them so much. Okay, and the third and final book that I have read in February, who knows, I'm filming this on, what day is this? The 23rd. I may be able to finish the second one, so if that happens, I'll let you guys know in my next reading update. But so far, it is from Blood and Ash. I did listen to this one on Audible. Sometimes it's just easier for me to do Audible with being a stay-at-home mom with a toddler and 3 dogs. I'm constantly doing something, cleaning somebody's mess, chasing somebody, doing something, laundry, cleaning, all kinds of stuff. So it's a lot of times it's just easy to throw my AirPods in and just listen. So I listened to From Blood and Ash and I'm hooked. I didn't know if I really wanted to try it or read it or listen to it because I was like, it has such a big hype. I have a hard time with really big hyped up things because I feel like I'm let down a lot of the times. I really do. I'm just like, okay, well, that wasn't as great as everybody says it was, but holy jamolies, From Blood and Ash was fantastic. I started it on... The ice cream man is passing and my dog thinks he's a threat. So that's why he's barking his head off. Okay, so I started this book on a Thursday and today's a Tuesday and I'm finishing it. The book was almost 20 hours long on Audible, so I think I did some pretty good time. So less than a week to finish it. It was fantastic. I loved it. I've said I've recently wanted to start getting into fantasy, and I think that was kind of like a fun one to kind of jump into. I decided to pick it up and just go. So I did it and I loved it. 5 stars. 5 stars. I already have the second one on my Audible, and I'm literally going to start it when I'm done filming this. So, where to even start? So, this book follows Penelope, the maiden, which pretty much she has no life, no rights, no nothing. She's guaranteed to be given to the gods and all this good stuff in her kingdom. So she's pretty much like a royalty, I guess. You know, people aren't allowed to really talk to her. They're not allowed to really see her, all this stuff. So she's like this kind of like royalty, kind of godlike in a sense, honestly, the way that they treat her. So it follows her and her kind of journey to her ascension and whatnot. And then you get thrown into, or Hawk gets thrown into the mix. And there's something about Hawk that was just a little bit off from the very beginning. So the ending didn't really shock me because I had a clue that that was going to happen. But overall, it's pretty much Hawk is her now bodyguard, and she needs to be protected from the Craven and just the people that are against the Ascended and the gods, pretty much. So they kind of end up having feelings for each other and all that good stuff. I'm sitting here talking because I'm trying to figure out what to say without giving away too many spoilers. Because again, I'm gonna say spoiler alert, stop. If you haven't read it, don't watch, because I don't want to spoil anything. If you like spoilers, keep watching. But I guess I'm gonna go into the spoilers. So her and Hawk end up falling in love, which we knew that was gonna happen. We knew that. Hawk is this hot guy that is introducing her to different things. This book does have a steaminess factor. I guess not too much. There's only 2 kind of like sex scenes, and they're not like terrible. I've read or listened to worse. So, but I think they were good. But they end up falling in love, and I kind of had a feeling about Hawk that he wasn't exactly who he said he was, because he just knows things that I feel like a guard shouldn't know. And then she keeps like mentioning how fast he moves, and there's just little things she's noticing that I was like, he is not just a guard, but who is he? And then I'm going and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, and I'm like, he's the Dark One. He has to be. And I was like, okay. And then I think it's funny after the end, if you've read this, you obviously know that she's gonna end up marrying him because she is part Athenian, right? I think that's what it is. Athenian, and so they're gonna get married. So he's a prince. So the whole time he's sitting there calling her princess, and it was kind of like a foreshadowing of what was going to happen, because guess what? She's going to be a princess. So, but I had a feeling he was the Dark One for a decent amount of time. I don't know what made me feel that. I just had this feeling like Hawk's him. But then I'm sitting there like, okay, he's the Dark One, but is he really that bad of a guy? That's what I thought to myself pretty much since I realized who he was. And he's not. I knew there was something weird with the Duke and the Lord and how everybody was acting. I'm like, really? The gods would gift these people? Yeah, okay. So I knew there was something weird going on. But the way that it all kind of fell in line, I had no clue that they were, you know, the Ascended were vampires and stuff like that. I thought that was a cool twist because, you know, you sit there and you think about, oh, what's her name? The one girl that ended up murdered in the room. You're like, oh, an Athenian did that. But you would never suspect the Ascended because you never knew that them being vampires was a possibility. So I thought that was a pretty cool twist. I thought that was really cool. So all in all, this story just really drew me in. I was able to like picture the world. She really did a good world building in this story. Like I was able to picture things like when she was explaining from the book of what an Athenian is supposed to look like and do and all this stuff. I'm seeing this person that, like the way that it was explained, I'm seeing this like scary kind of like goblin looking guy, bald head, big ears. I don't know why I was thinking that, because I'm sitting there being fed that they're bad people. Obviously they are changing in my mind because I'm realizing, oh, they're maybe not as bad. But I'm kind of glad to learn that the Ascended are just pretty much screwed up people, because the whole thing was screwed up. I get she was the maiden, but why take everything away from her? Like, if she was supposed to be something so great, why was she beat? Like, it made no sense to me until I learned who they were. That completely made sense. So overall, great book. I'm excited for the second one. Like, I'm literally gonna go start it. They're going back to Athenia. I don't know. God, I can't even think of the name. I'm probably screwing it all up, even though I just listened to it. I'm so bad with names. They're going back. They're gonna get married. At first I'm sitting there thinking like to myself, when he bit her and he had this like realization, I'm sitting there like, okay, maybe, you know, kind of like when you read those books about werewolves know who their mate are. Like, maybe Athenians are the same way, where they have a destined mate and he realized, oh, that's my mate, or something like that. But I was wrong. He found out she was Athenian based on drinking her blood. So pretty much this book, it's been a while since a book kind of like really drawn me in, to the point that it's like, I'm consumed by it. That's all I want to do. I want to listen to it. I want to read it. I want to know what happens. And it's been a while since I really got hooked on a book like this. And it was fantastic. I really think it was a good, like, it wasn't too crazy. You get the vampires, you get the werewolf people, you get, you know, her magical power and stuff like that. But I knew she was special, but I didn't know how special. Like, I didn't know she was from both kingdoms and that's why she has a magic power. I didn't know how it was going to be tied in, but I think it was a pretty cool development, and I'm excited for the second one. I'm excited to see where it goes with Cass. How do I not call him Hawk? Is it Cassian? Caspian? I don't know. Whatever his real name is, his name will be Hawk to me. That's just how it is. But I'll be interested to see how it goes. Do they get his brother out? Do they defeat the Ascended? Or what happens? I'm really interested to hear. So highly recommend this book. Highly do. I think it's great. It is hyped up for a reason. So give it a try. If you like books like that, give it a try. I think that you'll really enjoy it. So if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel and want to see more, please subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks.